looks like I just saw Zach Hilton request to come on, so we're going to let him. Hey, Zach, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, how about me?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you so much again. As we get everybody on board, your followers and those that follow me, let me do a quick little introduction so that people can find out who the heck we both are. I'm sure more people know who you are compared to me. So, hi everyone. I want to welcome everybody to the one-on-one Q&A with Zach Hilton. He is a candidate for Gilroy City Council. And for those I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Vince Monroy. I serve as a school administrator. I was born and raised in Gilroy, and I enjoy very much to engage with fellow civic leaders on ways to make our town and our community better. Zach serves as a firefighter for the city of Oakland, and he is the current chair of the City of Gilroy Bike Pedestrian Commission. Wanted to share a few words. One of them being, why the heck am I, hosting this or interviewing Zach on this Q&A? I'm a concerned citizen, family person, husband, father. I have questions and concerns about how we meet the current moment and how we can really serve the community, sustain the beauty of Gilroy, and even improve upon it. Some of the questions I'll be asking, Zach, will come directly from you. Some of you sent some questions ahead of time. Couple are going to be my own, and hopefully the majority of them will come directly from the chat. And as far as submitting a question goes, if you wanted to submit a question, please click on the question icon below. Questions on the comment section, I will not be able to review those because they may go a little too fast, but definitely submit your questions. So one thing that I did want to say is I'm going to do my very best to get to everybody's question. If I am not able to, great news, Zach has agreed to possibly doing future live sessions with all of us. But that said, are you ready to go?
Let's go.
Awesome. All right, well, why don't you get started by telling us a little bit about yourself, and let me take this deal off so that we don't have to look at all that. Awesome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what motivated you to run for city council?
Right on. Well, thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it. First off, I'm a husband. I'm a father of a 9-year-old daughter who goes to public school right here in Gilroy. I live right in the center of town, right by Roble Elementary. And for me, I'm a kid that grew up in Berkeley. A lot of those roots are still embedded inside me. When I choose to go to the grocery store, sometimes I will ride my bike. When I choose to, take my daughter to school, we walk and we roll. That's just that's just something that's always been a part of me. Like you said, I'm a firefighter paramedic in the city of Oakland, 20 years now. I still have a few more years to go. And really getting into city council for me it's all started about 4 years ago when I joined the Bicycle Pedestrian Commission. I had the opportunity to finally have a seat at the table and really watch some of the opportunities that Gilroy really has to make our community more livable and move forward. And whether it's welcoming businesses or welcoming the families that move here, I really got to be a part of that. But at the same time, that led me into a world of watching a lot of missed opportunities. And sometimes in order to get so those missed opportunities don't pass us by, you need to have a seat at the bigger table, and that's city council.
Right. No, that's very, very good point that you make. So what would you say is the single biggest challenge facing Gilroy today? And as a council member, how do you mitigate and address those challenges?
One of the biggest challenges we have, and I hear it a lot, I've heard it a lot over the 4 years, is we're growing too fast. And for me, when I think of growth, I just think of housing for everybody, whether that's housing for a new family that's moving in here, whether it's low income housing, whether it's missing middle housing, those people that are getting out of college and they come back home, they come back here to Gilroy and they're looking for an apartment to live in, and they look around and they notice that, wait a second, I'm new in my career, I don't make enough money to buy a home yet. And sometimes buying a home right now for some people it's not even a question, and it won't happen. And we need to have more opportunities, so affordable housing for all. And that is something that we can address as a city council. That is something that we can promote. We can have an affordable housing policy, where a lot of times people think affordable housing, they say, oh, it's all about low income. That's not true. It's affordability on all levels. And we can promote that as a city. That is challenging, and it already has been challenging. Another one right now that's really big is public safety. We're going through a budget cuts right now, and that's taking a toll on a lot of our departments. So I would say that for public safety, it's got to be we have to be safe. Everyone needs to feel safe walking through all their neighborhoods, no matter where you are in the city of Gilroy.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, and I'm going to get to that that you mentioned about cuts to the budget. For those of you that are joining just now, I just want to remind everybody that if you want to submit a question, to do it on the question icon below, as I'm not going to be able to keep up with all the comments. So please feel free. Zach agreed to do this, and it's a great opportunity for you to engage potential civic leaders in our community. So by all means, if you have a question for him, please submit it in the question icon below. All right. As you were talking about budget cuts, I did want to make a comment. A few weeks ago, as you were talking about, City Council approved proposal which made significant cuts that resulted in reductions and elimination of recreation programs and staff. Since recreation is so fundamental, such a fundamental component of the vibrancy, the formation of all people, public safety, as you were discussing, what is your answer to those folks that disagreed with the decision, that 5-1 decision by City Council to move forward with the proposals and those cuts specifically to recreation?
So I'll address it as a whole. First of all, when it comes to budget decisions, for me, it comes down to three priorities, and this is the priority. It's people. People are number one. And when I say people, I'm talking about the city employees that we have, those dedicated public servants that are here to, not only protect and to serve, but also plan for how we grow. Services comes second. So we take care of the people, the residents, the city employees. Then it comes to services, the services they provide. And like you talked about, some of these services need to get cut. And there has to be a priority. But one thing that I really appreciated as a citizen watching in on that meeting is there was almost 2 hours of public comment, very specific to one service, and that was recreation. And I have never seen that movement so strong. And I agree with a lot of the stuff that everybody said. And number 3 is infrastructure. So there were a lot of infrastructures projects that were eliminated or removed, but not all of them were removed. As you know, there were a couple infrastructures that we have already allocated money for, but have not built it over the last couple of years. So for me, it's all about people, then services, then infrastructure.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for giving us your take on that. I want to segue a little bit to something a little bit different with regard to health locally. Do you support incorporating a health chapter into the general plan? For example, language that promotes access to healthcare services, access to healthy foods for all neighborhoods, or any similar provisions?
Definitely. So this is something that I've actually been working on. And there's an organization under Santa Clara County Public Health called the Healthy Cities. And the Healthy Cities comes out with a dashboard every year. And it'll show the 15 cities in our county where we rank. And they go everything from tobacco prevention to safe routes to school, to a bicycle pedestrian plan, and all sorts of other health chapters. So what we can do is we look at those. As a commission, we've been doing this for the last couple of years. We introduced a policy that was approved at staff level called access to water. So what this means is that if there's ever a public facility that's built, there will always be access to water. And we're not talking about paid. We're not talking about how you need a key to get behind the door. No matter where it is, a public park, public facility, there is access to water. Another one that we did is become a bicycle-friendly community. That was an application, a very lengthy application that I filled out myself. But getting these incorporated into the general plan, but at the same time, when we go out and apply for grants, and these grant funders ask if we have these programs in place, having them already set scores us extra points for grants. So the Healthy Cities, it's something that I support and that I've brought up several times, and in there are things that you talked about, just like the access to food as well.
Thank you. Want to remind folks, those of you that I know I've been noticing that folks are coming in and out. So of those folks that just got in, if you want to submit a question, please click on the link below, the icon below. And again, just a reminder that I'm going to be able to see coming in. So if you wanted to submit a question, please do so. Click on the question icon below, and we'll be sure to ask it. All right, so I wanted to ask you something regarding more current events. A lot of folks that I've spoke with before, when I was letting them know that I was going to have the opportunity to speak with you and ask you questions, they wanted to get your take on something like this. So after the death of George Floyd and all of the things that are happening across the country, protests are still going on. They continue in cities across the country, and in an effort, with the purpose of creating meaningful change regarding racism. In a statement by Gilroy PD, it said, in consideration of the actions taken at the state level, the Gilroy Police Department suspended the authorization of the carotid control holds as of June 15. They also did want to highlight having a rigorous vetting process for hiring new officers. As part of city council, what else could be done?
So, first of all, I condemn everything that goes on, from police brutality into people of color. As a kid that grew up in Berkeley, for me, is not tolerated, and I am very happy to hear that Chief Smithy and the Gilroy Police Department are no longer doing that carotid hold. One thing that really concerned me, when about a week ago, they released their 8 can't wait responses, and one of the reasons that they said that they still use the carotid control hold was because, number one, it was a forced option, but the thing that concerned me the most was that they knew that if someone was under a stimulant psychosis, which could be mentally charged, or whether they're on drugs or alcohol, that there is a chance that those folks that are in that state will never come back. That they will die. And for the fact that you would do that, knowing that there's a potential of death, that would be something that'd be lethal force. So I don't agree with that tactic at all. 2 other things that we still need to do as a department that we have not done, that the city can do a policy for. That's a duty to intervene. That means that if me and you are police officers, and I'm doing one thing that is completely against the ethics of protecting our citizens, you have a duty to act. You have a duty to tell me to stop. You have a duty to tell somebody else. And this is something that needs to be trained. But at the same time, this is something that police officers and firefighters, teachers, we have a duty to report child abuse. It's not something that we go, oh, I told the officer. No, you have a duty, whether it's 7 reports going to Child Protective Services. So it's not. These are just changes. It's not a cultural change. The other one is a de-escalation policy. We do not have that. The chief said that both those 2 policies were going to be coming in the future. For me, I'm sure there's plenty of good ones to model out there, and they should be enforced today.
Great. It was very, it was very good to hear that we are starting to make those changes here, even locally. But I'm sure you agree that there's a lot more that has to happen. So I appreciate your comments on that. I want to remind those again. I know that I keep saying the same thing, but I want to make sure that those that are joining us or just got onto the live chat, if you want to submit your question, do so pressing the question icon below, and we'll get to your question as soon as it comes in. I'm going to keep reading some of these that have some of these questions that were submitted ahead of time, Zach. One of them is regarding representation. So examining representation by city areas or districts. How does the city address this to make sure that constituents have a voice? And so at the moment, what are your thoughts on how we could represent for example, is there somebody out of the east side of Gilroy that can, fairly represent those that need to be represented? So what do you say to that?
So currently we don't. There is no policy for it. We are an at-large city council, an at-large mayor. So for right now, those that do want to represent different districts that throughout the city, they have to be their own advocates to reach out and to meet people from those other districts. By law, the cities are supposed to be changing, and sometimes I'll put it this way: either cities are forced into it or they do it willingly, and it's up to the city council. In some jurisdictions, they don't even have an at-large mayor. They have 7 council members, and every year one of them gets nominated by their peers to act as the mayor for the year. But I do support district elections, and one of the major reasons why is just what you said before. Not everyone is getting represented. Not everyone is gonna feel that they should include the entire city, and they should include different districts into all of their decision making. But district elections have the opportunity for, like, if I knew that I was going to be terming out, this is my last year, or I wasn't going to run anymore, I want to see the same stuff continue for my district. If I was district elections, I would be grooming the next person and the next person after that. That's what you will get. A lot of people say, oh, well, you won't get anybody good. Someone will just automatically get the seat. I don't think that's true at all. People want their neighborhoods good, and they're going to be constantly grooming the next person, and they're going to be teaching them how to get what they need for their districts. But come on, we're 57,000 people. We're very small. A lot of people know each other here. We're all going to be able to work together collectively. There's something that I want more on the east side because I've been doing community reach out there. That doesn't mean that I can't go out there and advocate for it, or I can't speak up for them at the table. That's my feelings on it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I definitely disagree with the notion that there can't be anybody that's a true public servant in every single community. I think that there are, great public servants in every area or district if it was broken down that way. So no, I totally agree. I think that's something that we definitely need to look at. Speaking of which, and we have about 5 more minutes. So if anybody wants to chime in, remember you guys could submit your question on the question icon below. So how do you do it? How are you going to engage? Let's just say, it's November. You are now, you were voted in as a city council member. How do you reach out? How do you, interact with your residents so that they feel like they have a voice? What kind of platforms are you going to be using? Assuming, let's say, we're still in this moment where we're sheltering in place, or it's sort of maybe hopefully we're transitioning and things are getting better, but how are you going to do this?
So for me, as you can see right now, I am completely comfortable doing virtual Q&As, doing videos. One of the reasons why I did not create my own sort of Zach Hilton for Gilroy City Council Facebook page, Instagram page, and turf everything off is because, and even a website, because what I usually see is that there's a lot of heavy focus on all those platforms, and then whenever November comes around, you're like, where'd you go? Oh, they shut down the Facebook page, they shut down the Instagram, they shut down the website, they don't return their emails. Maybe I don't want to email them with the city email address. Maybe I want to, send mine to the campaign. If you look at my platform right now, if you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, if you go to my website, www.zachhilton.com, ZACHHilton.com, you will see articles that I've written. You'll see op-eds that I've done. You'll see videos that I've done on advocating to the city council, to planning commission. I'm not stopping any of that. Anything you see right now, I will do the exact same thing when I get up there. I have no problem treating this council seat as an actual office, an office with staff, somebody that puts out press releases of information that we've come up with. There is no reason for there to be a guessing game of what happened last night at the council meeting. I've been pushing the council to stream live on Facebook and YouTube for years now. And we're the first commission, the Bike Ped Commission, to actually stream live on Facebook and on YouTube. I do that all myself. That's to bring access. This has created an access that we have never seen before. And as you know from watching that last city council meeting, before you actually had to go show up at City Hall to make any public comment official. Well, now you can email and you can even, comment on chats. There's a lot of work in the state legislation right now to make sure that we still have that access, whether it's writing public email, getting it attached to the record. When COVID goes away, which it will eventually, and we get out of this state we're in right now, there still has to be a way for the public to be able to reach us while they're coming home on the train, while they're driving home in their car, or whether they're at home having dinner with their family and they want to tune into however they want to tune in. That's very important, and I'll fight for that again.
All right, thank you so much. We have about, I know I said about 5 minutes, we have about 5 minutes, but we did have a question come in from Josue. I'm going to go ahead and put it up so that everybody can read it. What is more important for our city right now? Building new homes and commercial space, or expanding better utilization of, and it looks like it cut off. I was not able to read the entire thing. But nonetheless, I think you got the gist of his questions. I think I was going to ask something similar. So what are your thoughts?
So I think what they're trying to say is whether we should work on expanding new homes and commercial space, maybe beyond the urban growth boundary or beyond where we are right now. I'm not sure if this person knows or not, but Measure H was passed in the city of Gilroy. So we have an urban growth that's surrounding us, and all we can do now is infill. And so, people have the right for homes to be built. That is not something that we can prevent any longer as a city. It's actually a state law, SB 330, that streamlines residential development and commercial space. But I'm not in favor of even trying to go against the urban growth boundary, if that's what this person's trying to ask. I am all about infill. And one thing that you can read on my website that actually was just passed recently by City Council was the ADU ordinance, accessory dwelling unit ordinance. What this does is it allows for properties that have space to be able to build an accessory dwelling unit on their property. That's infill. So what that allows in one aspect is for somebody to be able to age in place, like myself. I can age in place my own home in my own neighborhood with our friends we've had for a long time, and we can move to that inside that ADU and rent out this home. It could be your income as you age in place, or it can be a rental place. So go ahead and put your comments in if that's not what I answered, if that's not what you were asking. Feel free to contact me after.
Josue, did he get close? I think Josue is still on there, but like Zach was saying, if you wanted to get more clarity on his answer. I don't know what happened, but the question as it was sent was cut off. All right, so I'm going to do one more question, unless anybody else has any more questions. I'm going to do one more question that I did want to ask, and then I'm going to do something fun to end it. We'll do like a rapid Q&A for you to see. Josue said that you did answer it. He said, yes, sir, he nailed it. All right, thank you, Josue. All right, so we'll do after that, we'll do a fun thing, a rapid Q&A to put you on your toes, and then we'll do a closing statement. So last question I had, with regard to schools, do you support Schools and Communities First campaign to roll back Prop 13 for businesses to close the property tax loophole? This is funding for schools and local public services.
Yes, I do. And one of the major reasons why is that for far too long, commercial properties, big corporations have not paid their fair share. One of the ideas behind this is basically, let's just call it what it is. It's a split roll. It basically puts homeowners, renters, no one will be displaced, and homeowners will not be touched. It has nothing to do with residential property taxes. Those will stay the same. If you're Prop 13 under Prop 13, those will stay exactly the same. But what it will do is for these large corporations and properties, it'll bring them up to the value that people like myself, Vince, and you, we pay. But the burden of city services, and as you can see with the budget, the way it just went, you can't rely on all the new people that are living into town or the new homeowners to carry that burden. If, as a city council, if I'm looking at downtown Gilroy and I look at one huge building that's been there since the 20s and they're paying a certain property tax and the building next to them is brand new and they're paying a different one, well, I'll tell you what's the same. The water, the sewer, the lines, the electricity, everything that runs down below them is all the same. So what I'm basically doing is when I need to repave, I'm not going to get anything from this guy, but from this guy, he's going to pay for it all. That's not fair. That's completely not fair. So I'm 100% on board with it. We need to fund our public schools more, public safety, and just like we talked about before, recreation programs here in the city of Gilroy.
Nice. Thank you so much for answering that. All right, going to put you on your toes. I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and you have to answer these in 3 words or less. All right, favorite food?
Pizza.
Favorite hobby?
Biking.
Okay. Best sports rivalry? A's Giants, Niners Raiders, or Warriors Lakers?
No, A's Giants.
Okay. All the athletes and the sports fans are going to start chiming in, I bet you. Best bicycle brand? I had to ask a bike guy. What's the best bicycle brand?
Specialized Bicycles.
Okay, cool. And the reason I asked that is because everybody in my house has a bike, and I'm always asked to go to the levee to ride bikes, and I don't have one, so that is something that I'm going to definitely consider. Favorite part of living in Gilroy?
Access to recreation.
Ooh, that was 3 words. Nice. Solid. All right, well, thank you again for joining me today. I wanted to give you one quick opportunity. I want to respect your time. We said about 30 minutes, and I want to make sure that I give you or respect that time. Give you a couple minutes to end it, to make some type of closing statement. What do you want to share? Something that I didn't ask you. We did have one question that was asked, but what would you like to say to those? And I appreciate, as much time as you want to take, but what would you say to those that are watching right now as to what you are planning to do for Gilroy? And and hopefully we can do something like this maybe in another platform so that we continue the dialogue. But what would you say to all those watching?
First of all, I'm ready to be your ambassador for the city of Gilroy. When I talked about missed opportunities before, I'm talking about businesses that have come in business ventures that have come in, different opportunities that have come in. I want to be your ambassador. I have no problem reaching out and giving those people that want to invest in this town to make this town stronger and better, to give them the red carpet. Everybody deserves a chance to and a shot at showing what they can offer the city. And oftentimes those things come directly to city council members, whether it's via email or a presentation. And another thing too right now is that, however you want to interact with me, I'm available. Whether it's here on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, my website, www.zachhilton.com. Come find me, come talk to me. If you have people that you want to do a small gathering at your home, I'm more than willing to come and talk. If you want to do more Q&As, I'm more than available. And you can find out more information too on my website of different articles that I've written before in Gilroy Life. I've done a lot for the bike and ped community in this town, and I know a lot of people know about me for that, but what that's given me is just the opportunity to really take it to a new level and be on city council. I feel very comfortable when it comes to the budget, how it comes to projects coming through, whether it's business relations with unions. I'm a union member myself. I am completely comfortable with that. And I just want to let everybody know that I'm available, and there's no question that's too hard. Bring it on. And thanks again for having me, Vince. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you again for doing this. I want to thank everybody. I think at one point we had about 20 folks coming in and watching. So we appreciate all those of you, all those who made comments. Sweat, thank you for your comments. Judy, there's a gentleman, delinquency.
Yeah, that's my buddy AJ.
Is that your?
Yeah, it's AJ.
All right. Well,
hi AJ. Hi Judy.
Thank you for that.
Hey Brandon.
Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up.
And Carly.
And, if I didn't have an opportunity, there is Carly. I do
my wife's Carly. On there too. Katie is on there.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much. If you asked the question and we were not able to get to it, like I mentioned earlier, Zach was cool enough to do this today, and he's already let me know that through either this platform, maybe we switch to Facebook or Twitter through their Periscope live version platform. Maybe we do this in the next week or so. I want to continue the dialogue. I want to thank everybody who joined us. I want to thank you for your time. And if anybody has any questions for Zach, like he was saying, please reach out to him, and we'll be able to, he'll be able to answer your questions. All right. Well, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Say hi to the family.
All right. You too.